Hey, welcome back, everybody. Eric Rios here again. We're so excited you're here with us. Let's talk about how do you fight imposter syndrome. Yes, how do you fight imposter syndrome? First of all, let's talk about what imposter syndrome is. So from what I know about it, this is what I'm going to tell you my definition of what imposter syndrome is it's you don't feel worthy or that you're good enough to achieve the desired life you want. You don't feel worthy or you don't feel good enough to achieve the desired life you want. You may want to do something that there's out there that you really want to do, and you're really excited about it. But then again, there's always this feeling of like, oh, I'm not good enough. I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to make it better. You see what I mean? You just get stuck. You get stuck in confusion because you just don't feel good enough. You don't feel like you're worthy of the goal that you're setting out to achieve. So let me tell you this, you are worthy, you are good enough, because you're going to start with where you are. Because starting with where you are is going to get you to where you want to be, because you can't get good unless you actually start. So if you don't feel like you're good enough, just start. And I promise you, you'll get good enough very quickly. Because when you start and you just jump in head first, you're going to have to be forced to get good at whatever it is you're wanting to do. All right, so let's just go through this. Okay, we have 8 things we're going to focus on today. Okay, just 8 things. The only way to stop feeling like an imposter is to stop thinking like an imposter. You're not an imposter. You're not an imposter. Say that to yourself. I'm not an imposter. Say that to yourself. I'm not an imposter. Say that to yourself. Anybody I know who's been really successful at some point, for the most part, has felt this at some point in their life. They felt like they just weren't good enough and they just had that imposter syndrome. Okay, so let's go. Number 1. This is almost always starts when you're trying to do something new or trying to become a better version of yourself. It almost always starts when you're trying something new. Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you're trying to take on a new position. Maybe you're trying to start a new business. Maybe you're trying to really up level your life. And all of a sudden you start feeling like, ooh, I'm not good enough. I'm just not good enough to do what it is I want to do. Really think about why that is. You don't feel good enough because you're worried what others are going to think, that they're going to think you're not good enough. Not so much that you think you're not good enough, but more so that they think you're not good enough. That's the worst part, is you're so worried about what others think. And it's killing your dreams. It's killing your abilities to go after your dreams. It's killing what you're wanting to do because we just feel like we're not good enough. Well, you are good enough, because you're trying to become a better version of yourself. And that's the best part about it, is it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay not to have it all right. It's okay not to have it all together. Because if you just start, you can get better. But if you don't start, you get stuck on the starting line and then you just don't go anywhere. You know, the only great business you'll never have, do you know what that is? The only great business you will never have is the one you don't start. The only great life you'll never have is the one you don't go after. All because you feel like an imposter. Well, you're not an imposter. You're just struggling with these thoughts and these emotions and these feelings. And we're going to go through this. And we're going to figure out how to kill those things and move yourself very quickly into a whole new place in your life. And it's going to be like, oh my God, my life just changed. My life just changed. It got so much better so fast. Okay, number 2, separate your feelings from fact. Okay. Our feelings most of the time are just that. They're just feelings. Separate your feelings from fact, because the words we use are dictating the feelings we have. So we always call this transformational vocabulary. Use better words to create better feelings. And the feelings you have are dictating the actions you're taking, and the thoughts, they're driving these feelings and these emotions, and they're driving them into the ground versus driving you up to be victorious. They're driving you down to be a victim. You got to figure out how to separate your feelings from fact. Don't ask yourself this, write it down. Write it down. Why do I feel like an imposter? Then I want you to write down every reason why you feel like an imposter. Then I want you to write down every reason you don't feel like an imposter. And I want you to compare the two. Separate your feelings from the facts, because I guarantee you're a hell of a lot smarter than you think you are. I guarantee you're a hell of a lot better than you think you are. I guarantee you that your life can be so much more than you think it can be, but you're limiting it. You're letting it drift away, go away, because you feel like an imposter. I understand what this is like. I dealt with this thing of being an imposter myself. I mean, I started a business, took it to 7 figures, did really good. Oh, I still didn't think I was good enough. Started another one, took it to 7 figures, still didn't think I was good. Started another one, started another, started another, started another. It's like, holy shit, at what point do you stop doing things to stop feeling like an imposter and realize you are worthy of achieving another goal or another desired outcome? My goal was I wanted to build a training company. How do I train people how to become their very best versions of themselves? How to leave this 9 to 5 to become 7-figure entrepreneurs? How to leave that 9 to 5 employee mindset to a 7-figure entrepreneur mindset? For so long, I didn't think I was good at it. I didn't think I was good at it because I didn't go to high school, because I didn't go to college, because I didn't do these things. I was so worried about what everybody else thought about me. Therefore, I wasn't taking the actions, even though I had done more things than most people would ever do in their entire life. I achieved more goals than most would ever do. I had 5 master plumbing licenses. I had a master mechanical license. I had so many certifications and things that it took me tens of thousands of hours to achieve, owning all these different businesses. And I was successful in all of them, except for one. There's always that one, right? But that's okay. We're going to talk about that. All right, so you can do this. So let's go to number 3. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Let's talk about that. There's always going to be someone smarter than you, no matter what. I found myself guilty of this. I started doing really good, really good, really good. Then I see someone who's fucking brilliant. They're like, holy shit, these people are phenomenal at what they do in the same industry that I'm in. Then I start thinking, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't know enough. And I start questioning who I am, what I am, and what it is about me, why I'm not doing as good. So I was talking to a guy about this. The guy's doing $120 million a year. I was talking to a guy named Andy Elliott. I said, hey, Andy, look, I suffer from this problem, something called imposter syndrome. He goes, Eric, you know what? And I give him an example of an individual that I compared myself to. Because this guy's doing like $100 million a year as well in business. And Andy goes, you know, Eric, he said, you guys are way better off than this guy has ever been. Just because someone is making a lot of fucking money doesn't mean they're better off than you. Just because their life looks like this doesn't mean it's better than yours. So I realized very quickly, like, I've got to stop comparing myself to people who look more successful just because they might have more money. Because I guarantee you, the things that I provide my clients, oh, they're life-changing. Oh, they change their lives. It pushes them, it pushes them forward in a way they never imagined. Their belief in themselves, their confidence in themselves, all the things they never thought they could do. All of a sudden, they feel empowered that they can do these things. This is the difference. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're always going to be smarter than somebody else, and there's always going to be people smarter than you. That's just the way it works. There's always going to be someone better than you, and you're always going to be better than somebody else. Start with where you are and work from where you are and become a better person every single day. Become a better business person, become a better leader, become better in every aspect of your life. And I promise you, your life can change in so many positive ways. And you'll be like, holy shit, this is amazing. All because you took a chance on yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people and start moving in the direction of greatness and build that amazing life that you want to build. Kill that imposter syndrome. Just smack that sucker down. Get rid of it. You can do this. Okay. All right. Get excited about this. I know I do. All right. Here we go. Number 4, recognize when you should feel like a fraud. Oh, this is smart. Recognize when you should feel like a fraud. So let's talk about that. Now, if I said, hey, I'm going to be a doctor, but I've never been to school to become a doctor, and that's a very specific thing that makes me realize I'm a fraud, because I just saw on the news today that there was a guy being convicted. They've been chasing him for a couple of years. This doctor who said he was a doctor, said he was this, said he was that, said he had the cure to COVID, and he didn't. He was an actual fraud. That guy was a fraud. If you are legitimately who you are, you have skills in the area that you say you have skills in, you know what you're doing in this specific area of business that you do, or whatever part in your life, you're not a fraud. You're not a fraud at all. You're just someone who's learning how to get better. You're getting better at it. But you have a responsibility to yourself. Understand this. You have a responsibility to yourself, and that's this. Learn how to become better. Don't settle for where you are. Don't get stuck with where you are. Start going to events, start going to conferences, start going to networking events. You'll be amazed at how smart you really are compared to other people. You'll be like, holy shit, I know a lot of shit. I'm really good at this shit. Yes, I am. How you doing? Yeah, girl. Come on now. You'll be feeling like, holy shit, I'm really that much better than so many more people than you ever gave yourself credit for. So understand when you're a fraud and when you're not. You know when that is. Don't compare yourself to other people, because that's, you realize you're not a fraud at all. They're just maybe just a further along in their journey than you are. And that's okay. They're just further along. So no big deal. Don't get caught up on that. Don't get caught up on that at all. Realize you are fucking awesome and you can make a great life for yourself. You got this. Okay. Number 5. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it goes. Focus on the positive parts of your life. Where our focus goes, our attention goes. So if you focus on the negative and you focus on all the shitty parts, then you're going to get nothing but the shitty parts. But if you focus on the positive, guess what? Your life's going to change. You're going to start focusing on all the good things about what you have done in your life. And I talk about this in building confidence, that you start stacking success and start writing down all these great things that you've done in life and realize you're a fucking successful person in more ways than you could have ever imagined. Yeah, I know I've dropped the F-bomb a few times tonight, but that's okay. I want you to, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped because I know you can be better than what you are. You just have allowed this imposter syndrome feeling to hold you back from living the life that you've only dreamed of. Come on now. Believe in yourself. Start today. Start right now. Look what the shirt says. It says the time is now. The time is now. The time is now for you to start believing in yourself and doing more than you ever thought you could. That's going to be the key here. That is so important. Focus on all these things in your life that are powerful, that are positive, that are encouraging. And that's what's going to change every part of how you feel. Remember, we talk about words. Start using better words. Don't use hard, because hard, like, oh my God, it's hard. I don't want to do it. Because when you think things are hard, you tend to not want to do those things. But if you just think they're challenging, like I said, I say this in another video, building confidence. I say everything is easy. Now, it may take me a little bit for it actually to be easy, but I have trained myself to believe things are easy. But they may not be easy in that moment, but they are easy for somebody else who does it every day. So all I've got to do is train myself in how to do something. Then all of a sudden, it actually is easy. So I start thinking with that mindset of it's easy. Making money is easy. Generating revenue is easy. Generating leads is easy. All these things are easy. I'm not an imposter. I am a phenomenal individual who's a victor, who has overcome so many challenges. I focus on the positive. I focus on the good outcomes. I focus on the goals. I focus on all these things that push me to the better place in my life. Focus on that positive. You're not an imposter. You got this. All right. Number 6, develop a healthy response to failure and making mistakes in your life. So develop a healthy response to failure and making mistakes in your life. Making mistakes is part of life. Making mistakes is part of business. I can assure you of one thing. I have made so many mistakes since I went into business, my first one since 2008. I made so many mistakes. It was so bad. I can show you $1 million of mess ups so fast, and you'll be like, damn, you stupid. But no, I wasn't stupid. You only know what you know until you know more, until you get better. And mistakes are one of the greatest ways for you to learn the fastest and to push you forward. But also, when you start making mistakes, ask for help. Ask for help, because asking for help is going to help direct you and guide you in a place that is going to allow you to be more successful and allow you to understand how to have a better response to these failures and through these mistakes. You can't get caught up in, oh my God, I'm such a failure. My life just sucks. It's so bad. I mean, seriously, you can't get caught up doing that dumb shit because it doesn't do you any good at all. Everybody fucks up. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, if you look at every successful person out there, they have made so many mistakes. And some of the mistakes have been $1 million mistakes, $10 million mistakes, $20 million mistakes. And your mistake may only be a $100 mistake. But that's okay, though. And remember, it's just a mistake. You learn from these things. It's just a small failure. You learn from these things. You learn and you grow. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I mean, seriously, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And I would rather see you learn every single time you make a mistake and learn how to do it better. But now, if you keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over and over, then maybe we have a problem. Maybe we need to slap you a little bit upside your head and say, get your head out of your ass and fix this mistake. And that's when if you keep making the same mistake, you better go talk to someone who knows how to help you rectify that so you don't have this as an issue again. So realize it's okay to make mistakes, but ask for help. Asking for help is one of the best things I ever did in my life. When I hired my first consultant, Back in 2011, I spent $25,000 hiring this guy. I only knew what I knew. I only knew how to get so far in business. So I hired this guy, this company, and I generated an additional $500,000 in revenue that 1 year off that $25,000 of the things that I learned by asking somebody else. Was it easy? Fuck no, it wasn't easy. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. But let me tell you something. It was a life changer. And I've kept all those skills that I learned from this individual, because I kept that person going and going and going for about 3 years. And I hired another business coach, and I've hired other business coaches. But the point is, I was willing to learn. I was willing to take those failures, take those mistakes, and learn from them to become better at what I did. Okay, so all right, here we go. You ready? Here we go. Next one, number 7. Change the rules to the game. You decide how you're going to feel. Change the rules to the game. You decide how you're going to feel. I always call these pre-planned behaviors. I teach this. I wrote a book called The Secret to Marriage. And the one thing I always taught in this book was this. It was just pre-plan your behaviors, how you're going to be as a person, who you're going to be as a person, who you're going to be as a husband, who you're going to be as a wife, who you're going to be as a girlfriend, who you're going to be as a boyfriend. The point is you're pre-planning your behaviors as to how you want to be when a crisis happens or when you feel like an imposter. So when you start feeling like an imposter, why don't you just say, I'm going to act this way or this way or this way. I will lift my head up. I will roll my shoulders back. I will say to myself, I am not an imposter. I am a victorious, strong, mentally able person who can do anything I want to do. I can achieve all things in my life. I am better than what I believe myself. So you just come up with something for yourself that you're going to tell yourself, no matter what. And you think these things, you think about this, you read it all the time, you read it all the time. The point of pre-planned behaviors is you're planning how you're going to behave when you feel a certain way, because they're just feelings. Remember, they're just feelings. They're not, most of them are never true. You look at everybody who has anxiety, for the most part, they have this one issue of their thoughts. They think these things are real and they're really not real. So I want you to start pre-planning your behaviors and your actions, and you're changing the rules. So you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to be stuck where you are. You can move forward and have a phenomenal life. It's easy to do. You just have to pre-plan the behaviors and start doing it. It's the key. Action is going to push you so much further than feeling like an imposter. If you take action, I promise you, all these imposter feelings are going to go away, because they can't exist. They can't exist where action is being taken. They just cannot exist there. Pre-plan these behaviors that when I feel this way, I'm going to take more action. I'm going to take more action. I'm going to take more. I'm going to do these specific actions to get me to a better place in my life. That's going to be key to making you successful. That's going to be key to just crushing this imposter syndrome. Okay, here we go. Ready? Number 8, last one, guys. Last one. Visualize your success. Visualize the success of what you want to become in your life. See it and be it in your mind first, and then create specific actions that propel you towards your success you're visualizing. All right, so visualize the success here first. See it in your mind. Be it in your mind. Be that person. Visualize where you want to be. Visualize yourself being victorious. Visualize yourself achieving this goal. Visualize yourself achieving these successes. Visualize yourself in this role, this new role you're trying to get into that's making you feel like an imposter. Visualize all the positive things about this. Visualize how great you are. Visualize the success you have. Visualize you talking to people and how you've changed their lives, how you've changed a business, how you've changed a whole department. All these things, visualize all these things in your head. See it every day. See it and be it and become it. Visualization is one of the best things you could ever do for yourself. You visualize things all the time. You visualize all the negative. So don't tell me you don't. Don't tell me you can't do this, because I guarantee you, you've already visualized all the negatives about all this shit, and that's why you feel like an imposter. So now start visualizing the good, the positive, the successful things, visualizing the life you want to have, that you want to be, and start taking specific actions every single day to reach those goals. Remember, action crushes imposter syndrome. Action crushes imposter syndrome. Don't you ever forget that, because that's going to be the one key that pushes you further than any place else, is that action is going to crush that imposter syndrome. Okay, I'm so excited you guys are here. My name is Eric Rios. Love having you guys here. We believe in the 9 to 5 to 7. We help you leave that 9 to 5 mindset to become 7-figure entrepreneur mindset. We're going to help you grow. If you ever need help, you shoot me a text message at 591-0479. Don't be afraid. That's my personal cell phone. We're here to help you grow and become successful. Your life can be better, and I know you believe it can be better. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch this video to the end. You guys are fucking awesome. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.